Hey guys, Mike, aka Mcadley here, covering some Shoreline stuff. I'm going to show you guys how I run Shoreline, all the possible loot spawns, what areas that you can look for certain items, what the best, most efficient way to search things are. So I'm going to kind of cover right now. I kind of moved over. I spawned all the way out there in the distance by the checkpoint, so I kind of moved over towards where one of the spawns are. You will spawn back in this area here. If you look up to the right hand side, you do see the resort. So we're going to head over to the resort right now, and I'll kind of give you the gist of how I run Shoreline. I only have a scav backpack right now, so I'm not going to be able to kind of show you everything I'm grabbing, although I may grab higher end stuff just to show you how quick maybe the run could be. The amount of time that you're doing the run, as well as a couple of the items. I'll also cover the keys as I get up to resort. I will show you the keys that I have. I bought maybe 2 or 3 keys just a couple minutes ago. The rest of the keys I found, so I'm going to do a separate video to show you where to get the keys from. Excuse the frame rate hitches and things like that if you do see that this doesn't look the cleanest. Recording off of Streamlabs OBS for whatever reason kind of is not the best. I may have to try Shadowplay next from GeForce, but once I get up inside, I'll catch you guys back up. So generally, what I like to do is, if I get that spawn, I do like to run on the back side of dorms here. You can meet somebody coming from that back spawn as well through that gate, if a person is also doing the same thing as you, rushing up to the resort. So I like to just kind of put my head down and run up the stairs here. I always go to second story here, where I like to check for keys up in here as well. You can get the utility key. And as I said, I'll cover keys in a separate video, but there's also a key here that spawns. I'll go a little bit more detail with you at that point. But I like to get up here just to clear. You also kind of want to check out the window really quick, just in case anybody use any injectors. They can also kind of come up from this way as well. So from this point, I like to go up the 3rd floor and currently hit 310. So here are all of my keys right now. We have East Wing 107, West Wing 112. We got all of the red keys or pink keys or west. All of the blue keys are east. So right now I'm going to be focusing mainly on, right now, 310, 314, 316. Never check 322, but we'll also check to see what's over there as well. So here's 310. This used to be a very, very good loot spot about 2 wipes ago or so for higher end items. Like right now you have 2 gold chains. You can find higher end items on this table as well as this table here. Bags you can check if you have time as well. I do find things like fuel conditioner. I found some cats in there as well. Then you want to head through 312. After you hit 312, I generally like to hit 314. Now all of this, keep in mind, these first 2 rooms you want to pay attention. I like to use the GSS-H's. I feel like they give you the best audio in terms of clarity, although they don't sound the best. And that way you can kind of hear if anyone's kind of running through the back or up in front. You can hear this, you know, from there. But as you come inside here, there can be a LEDx that can spawn on top of these boxes. A lot of the medical supplies also spawn there as well. I found Celoas, I found Grizzlies up there, I found injectors up there. Then you have a medical bag that you can also get ophthalmoscopes in. And then I head out. You can also check here for other tools and such on the shelf, but that's really up to you if you want to do so. Then you can hit 316. 316 is littered with gun parts. This always has either barrels, stocks, scopes. Also here as well, barrel, stock, scopes. I find a lot of night vision here as well. You also have a medical bag out there that can also spawn ophthalmoscopes. Then I run over to, I hit 314, 316. You go to 322, or did I have 323? Right, I had 322. So 322 is always open, so I can really sell this key right now. And then you come down to the very end. As I come past here, I always jiggle peek the stairs. I just want to make sure that there is nobody here. And I hit the utility key. Now you could get the utility key. This key here is called the storeroom or health resort utility storeroom key. Or you can get 328. So 328 is quicker in my opinion. You can get high-end stuff here. You can also get things here too. Rumor is that LEDx can also spawn in here. I have yet to see it in 3 wipes. You can also get scopes, attachments, This came with a 100-round mag right here with 8.56 ammo. So you can also get mags and stuff there. And that is usually my speed run on 3rd floor east. We'll drop down here. Check stairs. I always put my laser on the back wall, specifically because I let somebody know that I'm watching it. So what I do next is I hit 222 here. So as I crank the door, I'll always point the laser here at the door or at the end of the hall as well. And that way people know that I'm down here, although they may hear me kind of jiggle the key. You can get 322 key or 222 key, or you can get 226 key. All depends on what you fancy. Right there's a roller, so that's also high end there. You can get Eli badges, you can get all kinds of stuff in there. Vases, the whole 9. Then if you come to here, you'll also get medical stuff in here as well. LEDxs spawn in here, I would say frequently enough that I would call this one of the better spawns. There's one key I don't have on West that is a more frequent spawn as well that can spawn 2. But this right here is Mr. Reliable in my opinion. And then I run out. You can also get some nades in here as well. I run out. Again, you always just want to make sure you're looking down the hallway and you're listening, right? There's times that I'll stop here in the hallway and I'll pay listen just to make sure that there's nobody coming. Run into 218 East. You can get red key card to spawn on top of this table here. And then run back out. So that right there is pretty much the East run. You can also do 205 and 306 on the way over. So I like to come over here and you can hit, here's 208. 205 is his next room. I do hit this prior to going down the stairs. 306 or 305 upstairs is the computer room. You do have a mission up there, as well as a lot of computers for flash drives and things like that. Here's a lion spawn, which means you can definitely get some good stuff in this little drawer here on top of 205. Ophthalmoscope can spawn in there as well. And then you also have another room with some med stuff and weapons cases that can spawn attachments as well as weapons. So generally, that's my East run. Most of the time, I'll come over to admin building here, where I'll just kind of run to admin. You can go all the way around. I played a little silly sometimes, and I just shoot and just jump in. You only need 1 bullet. I double pressed. Never seen, but I've heard that a LEDx can spawn on this tray. I come up. Now, how I clear the stairs is I'll always make sure that that door is open, which generally means that a person hasn't went through it yet. I mean, you don't have to open or close the doors, but I always check the doors kind of coming up the stairs. I just want to make sure there's nobody standing in the doorways. And then I'll jiggle peek both sides. I make sure this door is closed. If you see this door open, means that a person's been here already. There's already been a looter. So you always want to check this door here. Check right, check left. I close this door on the way around, and that way I don't get shot in the back. And then I loot these rooms as well. In the key video, I'll cover that you can get a key here. Again, I don't know how frequent these things spawn. This whole wipe, I have not found a key there. You can get any higher-end computer parts here. You can get graphics cards here, as well as a Tetris, I believe. The safe right here, you would want the Health Resort Management Office key on that safe. I close the door again, and I come around to this room. You can also get higher-end computer parts here. You can get graphics cards here in this, as well as a Tetris on this table, I believe. Rumor also that a LEDx spawns back here. I always say rumor because I've never personally found it yet. I'm a believer in if I can find it and if I can see it, it's no longer a rumor, which is pretty obvious. Don't mess around really much on this side, but if you do come over here, you can run through here, and you can see that there's a key that will spawn at times on here. Again, key spawns there seem to be very, very rare. There's not a lot of key spawns that I've been finding lately. So, as I kind of said, there's a key that I do not have right now, which is West 301, which is this first balcony up on top. Alright, so I ended up going back, buying the 301 key. I'm going to show you guys right now what could be in there, what's not in there, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, you'll see what's not in there as I get in there, but 301 is all the way at the very end of the hallway here. I did just buy the key right now. It's currently $660,000 on the market. You go in here, you can find stuff on the ground. You can find a LEDx here as well. And you can also find a LEDx here. You can get saline solution, as you see here, a bunch of other medical things, as well as electronics. A couple of flash drives can spawn here, and then you have this little crate here that can also spawn weapon parts and gun materials and such. So this should be in the middle of the video, so enjoy the other rooms here on West Side. I do always run down in the basement. I check for red key. If I have time, I'll check bags. 1, 2, and then there's a third bag back here, along with some weapon boxes that can spawn some pretty good stuff, like night vision and things like that. You can check here for pretty good tools. So we'll head back up. Unfortunately, again, as I said, I don't have 301 right now. I'll probably go back and add a little clip it in here. Maybe I'll go buy the key just for video purposes. And I'll kind of cut it into this video somehow. So hopefully I can do it after this, and that way I don't have to change shirts and such. So always want to make sure you're clearing this area as well as here. Scavs can come up these stairs from outside and kind of cause a little havoc with you. You always want to make sure you're peeking across the bridge. I come over here to 203. This key I found pretty recently in terms of what it can do. So you have a medical bag, you have a regular bag. Red key card can spawn here, rumor, from what I hear. Also a LEDx, I believe, as I hear, can spawn here as well. Also another rumor. I have not seen it yet. A lot of medical stuff in this room as well. So, pretty decent room. I forgot what I found in there yesterday, but I found something pretty good in there yesterday. That was worth it in my opinion. So, and then most of this here is going to be on the 200 floor. So, I can go back and check out the 100 floor on East, but there's really not a lot of high-end items there. More medical stuff, obviously. You can find ophthalmoscopes down there as well. I like to hit 216 first. 216 is going to be a room that can spawn higher-end stuff here. Not frequent, but you can find a graphics card there, as I found. You do have grenades. You can get mayo. Here is going to be a good spot that you can go for the collectible item here, the Devil Dog Mayo. That there is a pretty good spot for that. You can find ammo and bullets here, and a couple of medical supplies, injectors, things like that, as well as 2 grenade cases. And then I always hit up 218 as well. This is red key card room. As you go into the room here, you always want to check this little crate here, because this is where the red key card can actually spawn. Open these things up. You can find juice as well as some sugar or some, some food items here. This will be a good spot here if you want to go through, and if you're low on energy or hydration, you do want to hit up this table here. A couple days ago, I got into a really crazy fight inside of a resort that lasted a very long time, and I ran low on energy, and I came in here and found a lunchbox. So you can hit the adjacent rooms here. I think this one is 221 and then 222 if I'm not mistaken. A ophthalmoscope can spawn on here. You can get some rad stuff in that bag as well. I do have the 221 key, so I'm going to open this up and go out this way here. You don't obviously need to do that. One or the other key. As long as you have one of these 3 keys, you can get access to all 3 of these rooms. So that's pretty cool. Across the hall is 220. You can actually hit 220 at that point. A lot of health stuff here. Injectors, adrenaline, labs injectors. Higher end items will spawn back here. Here you see a cat statue. You have a chainlet on there that can spawn pretty frequently. And you can also get a couple things in here as well. In terms of weapon parts or attachments and things like that. So, I mean, generally that's the gist on second floor. You can hit other things, like there's a bag in there. There's other bags in other rooms as well. And then I'll come down right before I'm leaving and I'll hit 104 here. I don't have the key for that. I thought I had the key for that. Maybe I sold West 104 and I thought I needed it. Yeah. So that's what I did. I had 2 104 keys and I just sold both of them because I thought this was the open door. And I'm an absolute tool. And I sold it. But in that room there, I believe you can find one of the blue key cards. 112. Also, I was told you can find a blue key card here. Again, I've never found any of them. And then you have 2 bags. You also have a chemical mission quest inside of here as well. And I mean, that's pretty much it right now. I mean, feel free if you guys do the run as well. If you guys have any experience or any other rooms, you can add it into the comment section below. Please let me know. I'm very interested in what you guys find. If you guys find any surprise LEDx spawns, it does seem like Battle State likes to add things mid-wipe. So 301 up there again is a room that I did not hit. I'll come back. I'll buy the key and I'll hit it. I think it's 500,000 right now. I'm gonna run over to Resort. 112 key can be found inside that bus right there, so you can find West 112 in there. I'll meet you guys over at the Resort though, or actually over at Cottages. I'm sorry. So right now we're approaching Cottages from West Resort. I do have the cottage key in the back, and I can kind of show you where it spawns. It spawns right next to the barrel outside here. And again, a lot of these key spawns seem to either be decreased or they resort to jacket pockets now. So, cottage key is usually right on this barrel here. But because I have it already, excuse me, I got indigestion like a mother. We're going to hit up cottage. I call this cottage 2 because normally if you come from tunnel, it's going to be the second one you hit. You can find flash drives in here. This is the unlocked safe in this cottage. So hit this here. You can find a GP coin, as well as guns do spawn in safes now. It seems like they decreased the spawns when the wipe first came out. Every safe seemed to have a fucking gun. So we're going to pop this open. As you can see, there's just a lot of money that'll usually spawn in here as well. I like to bunch the money up as it goes along. And right then and there, I head out the back of Cottage 2. Head over to Cottage 1. I do like to hit a bag. Prior to the last wipe, this was not open yet. So I like to hit a little red bag, a gym sports bag inside that garage thingy there. Open this door. A key used to spawn here. I don't know if it does anymore. Again, I haven't found it once in this wipe. We used to farm the hell out of that key. It is no longer there, though. This bag I like to search all the time just because it's on the way up. So you're going to run up. Also, there's one jacket in the front room, just like this room on that side. There's a jacket, I think, on that wall. This has 2 jackets. I like to search the jackets first prior to going upstairs, especially if I know it's clean. I do find keys in here all the time. So it's probably one of those things that you want to at least spend a little time in this wipe checking jacket pockets. But I'm going to go upstairs. This is organized a little differently, where the 2 safes are in these 2 rooms instead of these 2 rooms. I hit the first safe. Book. Bam, bam. You just put the money away if you wanted to. I'm not going to grab the money for time's sake, but and then you're going to hit this little safe here. This looks like it could have either a bunch of money or a lion. This looks like it just has a bunch of money here. And another antique book. And 2 more pistols. I don't know if it's offline only does that. Could be a flash drive in there, as well as some weapon stuff in there. And we're going to head out. You can hit that bag on the way out as well. I like to run out this side now in case there's people that are going to be camping on this ridge line here, which happens few and far between, but it does happen. I'll show you the last 2 stops that I like to make. Now, keep in mind, this run is a speed run. This is not to maximize your bag, because you could go through all of these cottages here, or all of these buildings, as well as the 2 shops on the west side of the town. A lot of that stuff, there's a lot of bags in this first house here, as well as 2 coats or 3 coats. I like to hit the cache. I hit 2 caches on the way. I usually hit the one under the tank, and I'll hit this cache here. Like right now, we've got a car battery. I think that one's going for about 90,000, 110,000, 120,000 right now, as of like June 25th. And that pretty much sums up the run. So we're going to hit this last bus here. This is what can spawn West Room 301. Again, if it still spawns. Have not found it this wipe yet, or else I would have had it already. It'll be on this chair here. And then I like to run out and enjoy the loot I have. So prior to me escaping, I'll kind of show you the stuff that I got. Just on a basin run, this took me about 19 to 20 minutes. most of which I spent explaining. I didn't run right through it, right? If I'm running right through this raid, I'm not going to sit and explain each room and, like, kind of give you guys a gist of it. I'm going to be hitting the rooms, so I'll probably cut it down by about 5 minutes. So you can run this run in almost 15 minutes, getting to the dorm or to the resorts, popping all the rooms. If you don't have any encounters with any PMCs or scavs at that point, that's what you'll come out with. So 2 gold chains. Now, this is an offline raid, so I don't know if the loot is different in an offline raid, because this is probably one of the more plentiful ones just based off those rooms I have. A lion right now, I believe, is about 180 to almost 200,000 rubles right now. Cats could be around 40 to 50, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Antique books sell for about 50k through therapists. 2 gold chains you can save if you're upgrading your hideout. All this stuff you can save if you're upgrading your hideout and such as well. So obviously use this in the way that you think best fits your needs. You don't have to use it the way that I do. You do have a roller. So, I mean, all in all, pretty decent-ish run with just this stuff here. Minus if you get any keys, minus if you get any LEDxs. I mean, a LEDx right now is 2.4 million rubles. In a previous video about 6 to 7 months ago or so, I found 2 LEDxs in West 301. As you go in, there's a bunch of crates there on top. I found one there, as well as in the room on the other side on the table in between the 2 computers. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you guys have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below. If you have any other insights or any other rooms that you want to see checked or that you checked yourself personally, please let me know. I'll kick back on the video, and we'll try to add in room 301 if I can get the key right now prior to uploading this to YouTube. But again, my name's Mike, aka Mcadley. You can find me on twitch.tv/Mcadley as well, twitter.com/Mcadley, and I'll see you guys in the next raid.